We are live. I'm going to give people a few minutes. We're just going to hang out for a couple of minutes and give people a few minutes to jump on and say hello. How are you guys? So welcome to my quarantine breakdown comedy show. I was inspired to write. What's up? Terry Lee is watching. I was inspired to write this show while I've been in quarantine for the last 15 days. I'm sure we all have 14 days. I don't know. Can't even think anymore. I'm sure we have our own stories here. Let me sort of give you guys a breakdown of how this is going to go. So this is my first time doing a show on a Facebook Live platform. This is just bizarre, right? It's totally weird. I'm doing comedy in a room by myself. This actually is not the first time that I've done comedy in a room by myself. So that's fun. Whatever, that's fine. Guys, I showered for you. Look, I actually cleaned myself. I haven't taken a shower in a month. I'm not even joking. I was getting to the point where I was having that, when you have your hair in a ponytail and your head starts to really itch because it's that dirty, that was a thing. That was actually what was happening to me. And I'm like, I should shower, maybe give myself a purpose to do it. But I didn't shave. I'm going to be honest. I was like, you know what? Facebook Live, it's like a 3/4 shot. I'll shave in June, right? It's not an obligation. Right now, quarantine has been weird for me. So I wanted to just share my experience. This has been sort of gnarly because I moved here from New York City just a couple of months ago, and I lived in an apartment by myself in Park Slope, Brooklyn, and it was really easy to be alone. And I decided when I was going to move back to Los Angeles that I was going to move into an artist community. So I live in this big house in the Hollywood Hills where I live with a bunch of women, and we're all community organizing, SAG actors, keeping each other accountable. I'm this is a really good move now that I'm single and I'm moving back to LA. This is what I'm gonna do. And then COVID happened. And I was this is the worst time to live with 500 other people right now. I don't know what just happened, but unfortunately, one of my roommates got the Rona, and it was a scary time for all of us, and gratefully she is doing well. She is back and feeling a lot better, but it was a little touch and go at the beginning, and she had the best attitude toward all of it. I don't even know why I'm complaining, because this girl, seriously, my roommate happens to be Asian. She went to the hospital and was couldn't even believe how people were responding to her. She was the one who brought it to all of the United States. And you know what she said to me when I texted her on Instagram? She was like, you know what? I actually feel really good that Trump is such an equal opportunity racist because Asian people have gone largely unseen. And finally, it's our turn for people to be racist against us. Thanks, Trump. I was like, wow, that's a really fucked up but positive attitude toward all of this. You are a better human than I am. Good for you. I did not handle it so well. As soon as she moved out, seriously, it was this fucking fire drill to get myself into quarantine. I had to pack a cooler with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I grabbed my guitar and my Alexa and my iPad. I'm I don't know what I'm gonna do in a room for 14 days by myself. I was totally freaking out. And then I was doing that whole existential crisis where I'm writing all my goodbye letters and thinking about all the falling outs I've had. I'm I'm never going to talk to them again. This is not how I wanted it to end. And I had this just moment, because here's the thing, guys. I turned 40 in June, and this entire year I have been dreading turning 40. All year long, I've been I don't want to turn 40. I don't want to turn 40. I don't want to turn 40. I can't even turn 40. I don't want to turn 40. And then they locked me in a room with the virus looming around me, and I was oh my God, I really want to turn 40. I do, okay? Please don't make me die at 39 and 11 months. That's just fucked up, okay? It's wrong. I just made that about me. So, yeah, but then I was as I was sitting in my quarantine and having my whole victim spin shit, then I had that moment where I'm just sitting there alone and I'm meditating, and it was the voice of God came to me and inspired me. And the voice of God is Whitney Houston, right? You guys know that, right? I'm literally laying there and suddenly I hear, can't take away my dignity, because the greatest, I'm like laying in my bed, love of all is happening to me. And I was like, oh my God, this is my time. I don't have to go to work. I can just make art. I can heal the world by making art. And I didn't realize, like, this was my opportunity to, like, dig in deep and do some great stuff. And I was like, fuck this. I'm about to namaste the shit out of this coronavirus. I was like, Alexa, turn my feelings off. Thank you. Let's do this. So, hence where this show came from. I've been writing for 14 days, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's been wonderful. I don't know. It's just weird. Like I kind of feel like March was like prom for me. You know, it started out really good, but then by the end I was alone in my room. So that's pretty much how March was. It's just like this odd experience. I had this moment too in quarantine where I was like, I have done so much stupid shit in my life. A lot of stupid shit. Like, I am a recovering addict. I used to like huff Pine Sol and bathroom caulking and put like I had like 16 Oxycontin in my bloodstream when I ran the LA Marathon, and like cocaine in my electrolyte mix, running like a 5-minute mile. I had no pain threshold. I was fucking nuts. And like none of that killed me. And I had that moment where I'm like, whoa, if I die from touching my face, I'm going to be pissed. It's not going to be good. I can't do it. I started making like phone calls to people that I wouldn't have like normally talked to in quarantine, like my mom. And for the 6 of you that have actually seen my comedy before, just, you know, my relationship with my mother is a little touch and go, and she's always got this like thing with me, and always trying to negotiate my sexuality out of me. For those of you who don't know, I'm gayer than a box of rainbows. I get it. This screams stick a dick in my face, but it's not true. It's not true. And my mother hates this. And so like every year she's always trying to find like circuitous ways where she could like convince me not to be gay, you know? And I let me give you a little bit of a breakdown of my mom. So my mom, she's a very interesting character. It's crazy, like 3 scoops of crazy, not even discreetly crazy. Like my mom hides crazy like a bikini hides an extra 45 pounds, let's be honest, you know? And she's an interesting character because she moved here in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis on a boat, and then immigrated all the way up to Massachusetts and has been there for like 35 years. So like the combination of the Cuban accent and the Boston accent, everybody thinks that she's a New Jersey Jew. It's very weird for everybody. But so she calls me, right? She calls me, and I was a little bit nervous to take the call because last year, the quarantine is falling around Lent, okay? My mother's like super, super religious. And last year around Lent, she called me and was like, Renee, I got an idea for Lent for you. You know what? You've given up sugar before, right? You've given up gluten. How about this year for Lent, you give up your sexuality, huh? You could do anything for 40 days, Renee. You could do anything for 40 days. I was like, Mom, you know what you should give up for Lent? Hope. She didn't get it. That clearly was a message that was like not received, because this year, while I was in quarantine, number one, she knew I had to talk to her because she sent me an Easter basket, and it had like Clorox wipes and like Lysol and toilet paper and a bunch of face masks and shit in it. And so I'm like, great. Now I'm gonna have to call her. There also was a Cadbury egg in the green plastic shit at the bottom. I was very excited about the Cadbury egg, let's be honest, okay? So I decided I'm gonna take this phone call from my mother, and once again, she goes right into the negotiating the sexuality out of me. She's like I'm not gonna notice? I'm more introspective than ever in quarantine. And she was like, you know, Renee, this is a really good year. I hear a lot of people, now that they've been in quarantine, there's like, we're going through our stuff, right? And we're really examining ourselves and making higher choices and getting in conscious contact with Jesus, who could really help us out of this. And this is a really great time, Renee, to let go of the gay thing. There is no reason in the world that you would have to be thinking about being gay in quarantine, right? Can we let that go this year? And I thought to myself, Mom, I am locked in a room that is the size of a closet, that is cold and isolating. What part of that do you think doesn't remind me of being gay? That's the exact same shit. My mother is like absolutely ridiculous. We did bond a little bit at the end though, because we're both fed up with this. Like everybody wants this whole quarantine thing to be over. And I had that moment where I'm like, you know what, Mom, is that childhood offer where you were going to slap me into next year still on the table? Love to take you up on that, you know. My mom, she does appreciate my recovery though. She's like, this is good. There's a lot of people that are drinking and using and doing a lot of crazy things. And so I'm very grateful, Renee, that you are clean and sober and you were doing the right thing, being clean and sober. I'm really, really, really proud of you, all right? Because that's hard. That's hard. You know, I don't know, quarantine. But here's the thing, guys. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I'm not having such a hard time adjusting to the quarantine because I've been in quarantine before. I think it's called rehab. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Like when I was in rehab, they just mounted like a 13-inch TV on the wall. And for like 90 days, I just had to watch like loops of Intervention and Hoarders, like on repeat. Totally like had all kinds of ahas and epiphanies, just like I'm having in quarantine now. I had that moment where I was like watching Intervention and Hoarders and I was like, oh my God, I totally know how to stop hoarding. Just get them all addicted to crack. They'll sell all their shit. Nobody else thought of that. It's an amazing experience. My God, it's hot in here. See, quarantine's hot. It was cold and isolating, and now I'm sweating and dripping profusely. This is why I haven't showered in a month and a half, you guys. This is why. But I'm grateful I got to be completely honest. Like, finally, when my roommate got a little bit better, they released us from our bedrooms, and I let myself go outside. I'm going to be completely honest. I let myself go outside. And I already had plenty of face masks. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of the story. Wait for it. Of why I already had face masks long before this shit. So, last year in 2019, this is a true story, when I was still living in New York City, I had a little accident and my front tooth fell out. No fucking joke. Like, as a grown-ass woman, that scary, crazy nightmare that everybody has. Like, I had gotten in a car accident many, many, many years before, and it was like, so in my defense, like, I sort of knew this was coming, and I had gotten a bone graft on this tooth, and like I had an appointment to like get it replaced, but my insurance wasn't going to cover the procedure until like the tooth completely died. So like there was some fucking foreshadowing there, but full on, when I was like, before I left New York City, I was like taking a walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm like, I'm going to take in every last moment while I'm in New York. This is literally in like December of 2019. And while I'm walking on the Brooklyn Bridge, all of a sudden my tooth falls out and falls below the Brooklyn Bridge. And I was like, oh my God, I am a grown-ass woman with no front tooth. So I immediately crossed the Brooklyn Bridge and went to a CVS where they were fully stocked on face masks. And then I found out that I wasn't going to be able to replace the tooth for 2 months. Not until February of 2020 would I actually get my implanted tooth. So I had to wear a fucking face mask and look like a freak in public. And then coronavirus happened in March. I was like, really, God? I had to be out in public like the crazy sauce with the face mask for 2 months before the rest of society. And then society shuts down in March. You couldn't have waited till March to have my tooth fall out? Because now when you walk out in public and you don't have a face mask on, you look like a freak. The timing couldn't have been worse. I'm a little angry. It's fine. Are you guys just looking at my teeth now? They did a really good job, see? Yeah, my tooth looks amazing. But yeah, I did go out in public. Well, this is the thing. So, like, when I finally got out of my funk, I was doing, you know how, like, they're offering, like, credit cards are, like, lowering APRs and stuff? And I was like, I'm going to totally do that. I'm going to, like, transfer like money from here to there or whatever. And so I had a Wells Fargo credit card. I was going to transfer my balance to that, but I couldn't get a customer service representative on the phone. And so I was like, you know what? There's a Wells Fargo right down the street. I'm just going to go to the Wells Fargo and talk to a human. And it was that weird moment in public where I'm like standing in front of a bank teller with a mask on asking for money. And I thought, my God, this is a new world. This is a fucking crazy experience. And then I went to the grocery store. And then I met this asshole who like didn't have a face mask on. That's the weird thing about this. Like some people are overthinking it and getting super dramatic. And then there are other people who are not taking it seriously. And it's sort of annoying. Like I was in a grocery store and this guy did not have a face mask on. And he's like reaching over, like grabbing avocados. And he's like, no, I totally think it's like a conspiracy. I don't have to wear a face mask. I think everybody's taking it too seriously. And I was like, dude, churches and casinos are closed right now. If heaven and hell agree, it means it's fucking serious. Put a face mask on, douche. He was like, nah, I'm not gonna be told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. I was like, yeah, dude, welcome to having a uterus. It's fun, right? A little experience of that. Anyway, but then I went back inside. And here I am again, locked inside, sweating profusely. I've been able to like deal with things pretty well though, because I've been able to keep working, which has been really fun for me. I'm trying to like look to the bright side of this, because when I was in New York City, I was a nanny on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and so like of course like the family that I nanny for, they're like homeschooling their children right now, and so she called me and was like, "Can you help me? Like, I don't know if you still want a job right now, but I could use some help with this tutoring thing." So I've been like tutoring them on Skype and stuff, and so that's been pretty cool. But I noticed that kids are still assholes. Even virtually, kids are still assholes. Although I can't get sick anymore. Because before this I used to be sick all the time before this coronavirus thing. Like, nannying, like, kids just get you sick, man. And I thought for a really long time I actually did have an immune disorder, because I was, like, sick every other week. And it turns out I did not have an immune disorder. I was just really good at not hanging out with people that spit directly in your eyeballs while telling a story. So there was that. But yeah, these kids are like, they still try to one-up me. And he's like, you know, at that like, that 10, 11-year-old age where they're like completely unteachable and they know everything. And like last week, he tried to quiz me. I was like, what, is there one thing you could teach me? And of course, like he takes me up on this offer and he's like, Renee, I want to know if you think that a square is a parallelogram. And like, we got off the phone and then like shit happened. I had to like file my taxes and like watch a lot of Netflix and binge watch Little Fires Everywhere and Hulu. Like, I was busy, okay? I didn't have time to Google that because I wanted to Google it and make sure that I knew the answer. But then I talked to the kid the next week, and he's like, so, Renee, is a square a parallelogram? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, no, it is a parallelogram. I'm smarter than you. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry that, you know, I'm really grateful that, like, when I was 10 years old, I learned about parallelograms and not my taxes, because it's really helped me out during parallelogram season. Kids, I don't understand. He's trying to like give me advice too, and he's like, you know, during this time of coronavirus, like you really should be having vitamin C, because vitamin C will prevent you from getting sick. Do you know any sources of how you can get vitamin C? And I'm like, well, I'm in quarantine right now, so I've just been getting my vitamin C by drinking my own urine, because I don't have access to an orange. He didn't appreciate that. Neither did his mom. Well, it's fine. I'm going crazy because I just like, I always thought like taking care of kids would make me a better person. It's not true. In fact, I was talking to my sister Nina, who's also homeschooling her kids. My sister is like a superhero. And she's going nuts because we were having this conversation about how like you think raising children, you become a better person, but you don't become a better person. You become a pathological liar. Like, I'm on the phone with my sister, and my sister's like, James, if you do not sit down and do your homework, you know what? Actually, you know who I'm on the phone with right now, James? Santa Claus. And he said that if you don't sit down and do your homework right now, that he is going to put down another unicorn, okay? So you better focus. That's really harsh. You know what my nephew says to my sister? He's like, hey, Mom, quick question. if this is all happening in December, will Santa Claus be doing Amazon Prime? Like, I can't. What kids say, I can't. This is a lot. I don't know. Oh, I thought before this whole like coronavirus thing that I was gonna like start dating. I do love how the universe like just like recalibrates for you. Like, don't you? I really do feel like the universe is in charge right now. Do you guys remember like last year when Trump said that like climate change was not a real thing? And then like a week later, there was like tornadoes. It was like Mother Nature was like, here, take my beer. And there was like tornadoes and tsunamis and shit the very next week. Like Mother Nature was like, look, this is who's in control. Like I kind of feel like this whole coronavirus thing, like the emission standards have gone down. There is no smog in LA. I've been seeing all kinds of rainbows. Like nature is so happy right now. I kind of feel like human beings have fucked shit up so long that God kind of all sent us to our rooms to think about what we've done. Anybody feel like that's happened? I totally feel like Mother Nature is recalibrating. Yeah, it's like somebody else is in charge and it ain't me right now. So when I thought about this whole like dating thing, it was funny. Like I had that moment where I asked God, I'm like, okay, I've been like single for like a year. Like I'm ready. What do you think, God? You think I'm ready? You think I'm ready to get out there and do my magic? Huh? And God was like, no, I'm unleashing a human virus that prevents all human interaction. I was like, oh. Message received, gone. I'm going to keep doing the work. Well played. Well played, God. Well played. Because I need to, like, that's a good thing. I've been writing a lot. I've been journaling. Getting myself centered. Getting back to self, right? And I think, like the next time that I start dating somebody, I want it to be like that moment, when like you discover that your dress has pockets. Yeah. I want it to be like, oh my God. I want it to be that good, right? I want to like have the kind of conversations with my girl. Like I want to fight in an evolved way. That's what I want, Like I want my fights with my girlfriend to be like, you know what, sweetheart, I think we need to take a break here because you are activating my pain body. And I know that we're both empaths and I'm having a pain in my heart chakra right now and I can't tell if it's mine or if it's yours. And if we don't address this, we're going to spin in our shame spiral and it's not going to go well for either of us. So I'm going to step away. I want to fight like that. You know what I mean? I want to like have one of those fights where I'm like, you know what, sweetheart, I am going to go in the other room and I'm going to write out my morning pages and write an entire letter to you that I am not going to give to you. And instead, I'm going to burn it in a Reiki full moon circle and make sure that I don't project that shit onto you. Okay? How do you like that? That's what I'm going to do. Right? Yeah. I'm going to fight with my girlfriend like that. Wait, I'm ready. Oh, I'm gonna try to read some of these comments. Meredith Johnson, Allie Brinkerhoff. She's the coordinator here at my artist the little apartment complex. I'm like getting completely dizzy. I can't tell anymore if I'm getting dizzy. I've been wearing a face mask all day because I've been like out and about. And it gets to the point like halfway through the end of the day where I think that I'm dizzy because I've been breathing in so much carbon dioxide. I'm like, I kind of feel like the trees are supposed to be getting this and not me. Does anybody else felt that way? You get like dizzy and stupid after wearing that shit for a really long time. Although I'm kind of into it because people used to always tell me that like I had this like resting bitch face when I was in public. And now that I wear a mask in public, no one says that to me anymore. So that's exciting. Thumbs up to that. I'm getting tired. And you know what? The other thing about this whole Facebook Live thing, guys, is I'm realizing that my mobile device could probably die here. So I'm going to sort of wrap it up in a few minutes here. But the other thing that obviously happened to me in quarantine, clearly, is I am a lesbian artist. So I wrote a folk song, clearly. That's no surprise. So I'm going to end the show by doing a folk song that I wrote about this quarantine breakdown. Are you guys ready for that? You're ready. Aw, I love you, Myra. Thank you for your sweet comment. All right, hold on. This is what happens when you're in a room by yourself doing comedy. We're this is only the third song that I've ever written in my entire life. You know, the first song I wrote, it's called Wait, Wait. I'll give you guys a little snippet of that. You guys want to hear my first song, Wait, Wait, and then I'll get into the song that I wrote for this quarantine? You guys are, fuck it, it's my show. I'm locked in a room. Like, anybody's going to say no to me. Okay, this is my little snippet for my first song. Wait, Wait. It goes like this. Shit. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait. No. I really do appreciate you guys being here today and playing with me here on Facebook Live. This is what we do, right? We create art, and during this like crazy dark time when people are like grieving and going through nutso shit, we've leaned on artists. This is why we're binge watching Netflix. Who knew that we could save the entire human race by sitting around and watching Netflix? We can't possibly fuck this up, guys, right? Thanks for joining me, guys. This is called Quarantine Breakdown. When I wake up in the morning, I have no purpose, I don't know what to do. I don't even need to shower. I wonder if I should even use my dry shampoo. Cause I've been getting caught up. This COVID shit's got me in a funk. Like I'm locked in an asylum bunk. My quarantine breakdown. I've been getting caught up. This COVID shit's got me in a funk. Like I'm locked in an asylum bunk. My quarantine breakdown. I didn't realize that I had so much angst until they locked me in a room. Told me the only way I could interact with other humans was in a meeting on Zoom. I've been getting caught up. This COVID shit's got me in a funk. Like I'm locked in an asylum bunk. My quarantine breakdown. I've been getting caught up. This COVID shit's got me in a funk. Like I'm locked in an asylum bunk. My quarantine breakdown. I got pulled over by a cop. I was just outside taking a walk. I didn't have my face mask on. He told me I was being disrespectful and wrong. I said I just couldn't breathe. I swear to God, I sneezed into my sleeve. He said, you better change your attitude today. I said, I'm not the only asshole, cause you're not standing 6 feet away. I've been getting caught up. This COVID shit's got me in a funk. Like I'm locked in an asylum bunk. My quarantine breakdown. I've been getting caught up. This COVID shit's got me in a funk. Like I'm locked in an asylum bunk. My quarantine breakdown. Thank you, Facebook, for joining me. This has been so much fun. I guess we can hang out here. That is it for me. We can hang out and say hello. I so appreciate you guys being here and helping me get through this crazy, crazy time. Did you guys know that this mic was completely just a tool? That it's not recording me at all? Thank you so much, you guys, for being out here. Okay, comments. Am I doing this right? Elizabeth Kelowna, I love you. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm so grateful for this like opportunity, and like thank God all of this crap happened in 2020, right? Because we wouldn't be able to do this. Oh, my iPad's gonna die. I'm like, yeah, this happened. This is wonderful that this happened in 2020, but iPads still don't stay charged for like more than a half hour. I was gonna do an hour show, and then I'm like, that's not possible because I'm recording on my iPad, and it will like die in 25 minutes. But thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I adore you. Stay safe during this quarantine. Keep doing the right thing, and hopefully this will be over pretty soon, okay? Thank you. Thank you. I had so much fun.